Iyarkai Tunai, that means nature's blessings, and myself, Desika Prabhakar, founder and director of the Purpose Foundation, and we have our COO Lakshmi from the Purpose Foundation as well. So very happy to catch you, Yusuf, today for the MSME Problem Statement Session. This is a particular very unique initiative that we have taken as part of the second edition of Hack4Purpose by United Nations as well as the Purpose Foundation. So this initiative is mainly to bridge student innovators to solve real-time problems of the MSME sector, especially focused on a lot of innovation for the MSMEs to increase their revenues, to increase their profitability and any aspect of sustainability there is. So this is the focus that we have developed, and 16 themes that we have chosen for this year to build as a proof of concept. And with that, we are going to look into your particular company, understand what products that you have been doing and how the student innovators can support on your particular problem statements. To give you some guidelines on this whole journey, this starts off by June 1st when our applications are going to begin, and we would have a list of all the problem statements collected from a minimum of 100 MSMEs that we are targeting this year will be listed in our website, and the students would apply to this with their solutions. We would then have our panel of trainers, judges and global mentors who will review these solutions, and then we would pick out particular teams where they would work in unison with your company, with the trainers, global mentors, to actually produce solutions as viable products. And this would be funded entirely by our set of sponsors as well as United Nations Unleashed initiative. There would be no cost whatsoever involved from the MSME as an expectation. There would be no payment or cost of any sort involved. We also want to highlight that although we are rooting for you to get the solutions for all the problem statements, it would also be a possibility that there may or may not be 100% solution given to you, because it depends on the students as well as the cohesive work environment of the mentors and everything. So we would maximum try to give you a viable product, but still whatever is possible as a solution, that would be given to the MSME. That is the second point. The third point is, as I said, again, no cost whatsoever involved. And so the technology developed, how would we share the particular technology, is completely on a case-to-case basis. If you are taking the students and working directly with them, giving them time and efforts and inputs, then you could have a shared sort of a technology or any IP that comes out of this. Otherwise, we would like to just completely give the technology either to the students or to the companies, depending completely on the time and intellect that they have invested in it, so that we want to keep it fair to all the parties involved. So we would like you to start off with the role that you are playing in the company. If the company is a registered MSME, how many years you are active and what kind of products that you're producing. That would be the first question to you. So handing over to you, Yusuf.
Thank you, Desika and Lakshmi, for the introduction, and thank you for inviting me and my company to be a part of this project. It's pretty exciting to see the large scale, the big scale of this project when you said you're going to reach out to 100 MSMEs. So let me quickly begin with an introduction. My name is Yusuf. I'm with a company called Popular Essentials. We're based in Bangalore, and we're a family business. So I'm a part of, right now, I'm in the fourth generation of the family business. We're a joint family business which has been in the food trading space from 1912, from my great-grandfather's time. So it's been about 113 years now. And Popular Essentials is one of the companies within that, which I am running with two of my other cousin brothers. So the company Popular Essentials itself officially was registered in 2018 with the GST certificate. So we're fairly young. Unofficially, we started using the brand name as early as 2014. You can say 2014, 2015, 2016. So it's been, you can say it's about 8 to 10 years old, the company. On paper, it's about 7 years old. And essentially what we do at Popular Essentials is we've built a food staples brand, selling primarily online. They're an online first brand. So the company started because we got an opportunity to start packing rice for Amazon. And if you've been to any wholesale markets in India, almost every city has wholesale market. In the wholesale markets, rice, pulses, everything is sold in bulk. It's sold in 30 kg, 50 kg, 25 kg bags. But in online platforms, nobody buys bulk. People want 200 grams, 100 grams, 500 grams, maximum 1 kg or max to max 5 kg. And nobody 10 years ago was doing packing for the, online platforms because they were so new. Nobody knew whether we should trust Flipkart or Amazon because, yes, in America they work very well, but who knows if it works in India? India is a different market. And so my elder cousin brother got the opportunity and chance, and he said, okay, I don't mind giving it a shot. And so that is where the journey of Popular began, where we started packing rice for Amazon in small packs, consumer packs. And by God's grace, e-commerce grew, right? Amazon and Flipkart grew, so we also grew with them. We added on from packing just rice to packing pulses, to packing whole spices, to packing dry fruits and sweeteners. And we started with 1,100 square feet facility, then we moved to 11,000 square feet facility, and to a 55,000 square feet facility. And today we have like 3 facilities, totaling up to like 1.1 lakh, 1.5 lakh, 1.05 lakh square feet spread out across 3 major categories, and we're still online first. So along with e-commerce, we were also one of the first people to start selling on and packing for quick commerce. Quick commerce in India is 10-minute delivery apps, which have grown very big. There's Swiggy, Zepto and Blinkit. Swiggy and Zepto, we were one of the first brands again, and so that helped us a lot because they were very young and people were not sure whether quick commerce is going to work or not. Now it's very clear for the last 1 year, quick commerce is really becoming mainstream and challenging every other channel player. So even today we're primarily online now, quick commerce and e-commerce. And we have 3 major facilities, which is how we've divided our food categories. So we have one facility which purely deals with the cleaning, sorting and packing of conventional staples, grocery staples, which is like conventional rice, pulses, whole spices, sweeteners and flours. And then we set up a new facility just 10 months ago, dedicated to organic staples. So we got the license to also launch our organic brand very recently. We launched the organic brand just 6 months ago on Swiggy and Zepto, which is again organic staples, organic rice, millets, pulses, peanuts, jaggery. We have about 14-15 products right now. That is something new for us. We want to understand how the organic space works, not only the supply chain but also the consumer space, because organic products are more expensive, and so it's not like everybody buys it. So the demand for organic in India is still not that much. But we know the future is there, because if you look at the developed countries, they're already organic staples are mainstream right now. So India is going to get there in a matter of time, it's a matter of 5 or 10 years. So we thought, let's enter now, so we'll get an understanding early on, so that we can be one of the 4 earlier brands in the organic space. And hopefully also in 1-2 years time, once we understand space, we can also start exporting. Because India has a decent amount of organic supply as well. Organic farms and farmers where they don't use chemicals and preservatives. And the third facility is the main facility that we really bet on right now. It's a facility purely dedicated to all kinds of dry fruits, seeds, berries, dates and nuts. So here we do cleaning, sorting and packing of all kinds of products within those categories: almonds, cashew, pista, blueberry, dates, all of that. And we've also set up one of India's latest roasting lines. So it's a fully automatic roasting machinery where we are entering the healthy snacking category right now. What we mean by healthy snacking is all kinds of roasted snacks. So not only the world, but especially India as well, is moving towards a more health conscious society, at least especially the young people, new generation living in tier 1 cities, even tier 2 cities. They are looking for alternatives to fried chips, which is the most common, fried potato chips, fried snacks, namkeen snacks like Haldirams and Bikaji. That is a huge market. They are more consciously looking at, okay, what is the protein I'm getting in this snack that I'm picking up? What oil is being used? What is the calorie count? And so, which is what a trend is what we saw, my family saw about 2-3 years ago, which is when we thought, okay, let us set up a facility purely dedicated to only roasted snacks. So which falls under this category. And so this facility also was set up just 10 months ago. And we have launched our own brand as well just about 6-7 months ago on Swiggy and Blinkit. And then some supermarkets in Bangalore, where we started selling our first phase of roasted nuts, so roasted almonds, cashew, pistachio, flavored almond, cashew, pistachio, and then coated nuts. And the next phase, next month, by the end of this month, next month, we'll launch peanuts. roasted peanuts, flavored peanuts, coated peanuts. We're also the first in India to be able to do roasted pulses. So, Haldiram's and Bikaji, this namkeen category is so huge. But all of them are fried. All the dals are fried. And they have about 20% plus oil. So we are the first in India to be able to have an automatic machinery where we're able to dry roast without oil the dals, the same dals, green moong, chana dal, masoor. And dals are the primary source of protein consumption in India because the majority of a good portion of India is vegetarian. And for those vegetarian people, it's the dals and the chickpeas and some products which are their primary source of protein. So this is a big opportunity because here we're able to make the same kind of snack but without the same oil content and made in a much more healthier fashion. And so we're going to launch the roasted dals range as well in the next 1 month. So we are also an MSME registered company because we're a family business. We don't have external VC funding like so many other brands out there have. They're able to grow very fast. In a very short span of time, they become pan-India brands. They'll be across all platforms. They'll be in IPL. So we don't have that kind of capacity. We put in a lot of the resources we had into getting this machinery. Actually, the biggest project in our family's history itself. We've put in about 15 plus crores, and so it's huge. And so the whole family, also the elders in the family, are very anxious because if they're not able to utilize, and manufacturing is something new for the family. What is common in the family, what is historically been there, is trading. So there's a lot of trading expertise where the support is there, but in manufacturing there is not much expertise. So it is just me and my cousins who have entered. We don't have anybody else to look up to, and we're trying our best to make sure that we increase efficiency because in manufacturing, the way you run a manufacturing business is very different compared to a trading business. Every day you have these running costs. Whether you do only 10 kgs, 100 kgs, or 1000 kgs, or 10,000 kgs, some costs are fixed. So you have to really at least your manufacturing capacity per month should be at least 50 or 60%, roughly speaking, rule of thumb, to be able to cross the break-even point of your costs. And since we've just started, we're at 20. Actually, 2 months ago we were at 12%, 14%, which is still very low. So they're bleeding money, and they're bleeding money when we don't have a huge corpus of VC funding with us. So, anyways, that's a pleasure for us to focus on our business. And so what we have been doing from the last 6 months is we've got 3 main business models. One is our own brand, which we're growing gradually because we don't have external funding. So we're growing within the means with which we can grow. And then on the platforms where we have good relationships, so like Swiggy, Zepto, and Blinkit. Then a little bit on Big Basket, a little bit on Fresh for Home and Amazon. And then so the second main business model we have is we do private labeling for companies, which we've been doing from the last few years. So, for example, Swiggy, Zepto, Flipkart, Amazon, all of these brands have their own private labels, which you might be aware of, right? They sell all the same staples products in their own brands. So they don't. None of these quick commerce platforms have their own facilities where they do packing. They get it done in a third party facility. So we've been doing that also. So Swiggy, Zepto, now Flipkart and Amazon, we just did the audit yesterday. In South India, some of the staples that are being sold on the platforms are being packed by us in our facility. So that is something we're also building on to get more private label clients. And the third model we do is we do bulk supplies as well. We do bulk supply of dry fruits, nuts, rice, pulses to people who need it in the same 30 kg bag, 25 kg bag. For example, we supply to the Bangalore airport. The lounges in the Bangalore airport, they get the raw materials from us. And there are 2-3 big restaurant chains in Bangalore, which are famous over here, but they're local. So we supply the grocery items to them in bulk every 2-3 weeks. We supply raw material to MTR, which is a big brand here in South India. We do raw material supply to Paperboard and a few other brands like that. So these are roughly, the 3 main business models we have and how we engage with the different customers. Yes, that's a quick introduction from my side.
That was a very great walk through the whole history of how you guys had previously itself predicted the whole massiveness of e-commerce, quick commerce, and then took a step in the early stages itself to go and invest into these sort of very viral aspects that is growing in the industry right now. So that was very huge as a family-owned business that you have been taking, and your venture into the roasted snacks as well as the organic aspect is something that is much the need of the hour, as you rightly pointed out. So we would be super excited to have any sort of problem statements in these areas, as it is high on the sustainability radar. So with that, we'll go into listing out the problem statements that you would like to give the students. So it could be anything in the manufacturing sector per se itself, like as you mentioned rightly, manufacturing costs are a big burden for the companies, and how do we essentially reduce these costs, and what kind of technologies can be incorporated to reduce these costs, or if there is any other wastage that you're looking at and would like to find a solution for it, that could be something prospectively something that the students could work on. So there are so many aspects that you can look into and give them a number of problem statements that can be specifically focused and given as solutions for your company. So please go ahead to present us the problem statements.
Yeah, thanks. I have 4 problem statements right now, which I would like to share with you all. The first one is so the usage of water. There is excess usage of water in our snacking facility where we do the roasted snacks. Roughly what we do is, I told you we have this machinery where we're able to roast roasted snacks like roasted and flavor, almonds, cashew, pista, makhana. Now whenever we do any product, we try to run at least the product for half a day. Only then it makes manufacturing sense. Because in an 8-hour shift, if we run just for 1 hour, then it's inefficient because it doesn't make efficiency sense from a cost point of view. Now the problem here is, the challenge here is we can run only one product at a time. So let's say I'm making peri flavored for 4 hours in the morning. I can do 2 products or even 3 products in a day. So the machinery structure of the product line is the same machine for all products. 4 hours. I'm going to run the peri flavored roasted cashew. Now after 4 hours, I still have 4 hours more left in my day, and I'm planning to do, let's say, a completely different flavor, sour cream and onion flavored makhana, roasted makhana. Now whenever there's a changeover, right, we need to do a full cleaning of the line for various reasons. One is because in the first half the product itself was different, the flavor was different. And so, in different parts of the machine, that flavor will be stuck. Maybe the remnants of the product of broken almonds will be there. This peri powder will be in the different parts of the machine. So we have to do a full-fledged cleaning. And with these masalas, right, we sometimes make a slurry with an oil. We basically mix the masala with a little bit of sunflower oil or whatever it is, olive oil, and then we spray it on the product, and the product moves from one machine to the other and then to the packaging machine. So it is important for us to wash the whole line, because just basic cleaning is not enough, especially when we're doing from flavor to flavor. If we do just salted almond to salted cashew, it is still fine because it is just dry salt, there is no oil. Then we can do it's called air wash. We use compressed air, and within half an hour to 40 minutes, the cleaning team is able to air wash the whole line, which is fast and effective. But with flavor, we cannot do that because air wash is not effective. We have to use water. And actually, even with salted products, we don't take the risk and we do water washes. So on average, in the 6 months, we've got data where for a salted product, we use about 4,000 liters of water for one wash, and we have to do this wash every day. If it's a salted product, roughly 4,000 liters. If it's a flavored product, it takes about 7, 8 or 9,000 liters, which is a huge amount of water on a daily basis. Now I told you my plant is running at 20% capacity, but hopefully if everything goes well within 6 months, then we're running 60, 70, 75% of the capacity, 20 days of the week. Okay, let's take the best case scenario, 26 days of the week. Every day we are using 6, 7, 8,000 liters of water. Let us be conservative and assume I'm taking just 5,000 liters into 26. That's a huge amount of water being used every day to clean these. And one of the reasons is we're changing from flavor to flavor and base to base. The second other major reason is many of these nuts are allergens, and especially for products that we're exporting outside. So I didn't mention this in my introduction, but we have also our facilities, we've made it to the best of our ability to be able to cater to the biggest MNCs in India and also to export abroad. So our facility has been certified. We've got all the food certificates to be able to export to the US, to the UK. We will be able to meet almost every major global standard. So we've already sent a consignment of Makana to South Africa and one to Singapore, and we're in talks with some American companies, and they're very strict. It's like, especially American companies, their whole brand is on the premise that it is a non-allergen product, or for example, there'll be zero allergens, and that is how they market to their customers. So we have to be 1000% sure that there was no allergen in that production, which means we have to do a full clean, because cashew is an allergen, almond is an allergen. Cashew is. So Makhana is not. So we're in talks with a client in the US who's making Makhana, and his whole branding is and marketing is on the premise that it's not allergic, whatever, right? So we cannot afford to make that mistake where we just do a dry wash and hope that there is no traces of peanuts or cashew almond, because if that happens and his product is picked off the shelf in America and they found traces of peanut, and the claim he's doing is, oh, it is allergen free, then a lawsuit will be filed on him, and then he will say he did it in a third party, so the lawsuit will come to us. So this is actually happening. We're not making things up. This same client who we're talking to is running a brand selling Makhana from the last 4, 5 years, 6 years, and he's faced lawsuits in California. He calls them frivolous lawsuits, but that is the way the environment is over there, where there are companies that are focusing on, we call them frivolous lawsuits, but what they do is they pick up these new and upcoming brands and try to see any loopholes in them. If you've claimed something, is your product actually following the claim or not? And if you're not able to prove that you follow the claim, then it's a few $1 million. And for small companies like theirs, they are a startup, they are an MSME, there is no backup. One big claim and we're not able to support ourselves, gone. That company is gone. We'll be in huge losses. And only MSMEs were able to manage that, with their huge big legal teams where they pay big legal fees. We don't have a legal team because legal fees are very high, not only in India but in the US. So yeah, that is the first problem statement here. But how can we reduce the usage of water when cleaning machinery, especially keeping in mind this flavor 1 to flavor 2 changes happening, and then how do we eliminate use of allergens? Because in our product, in our facility, on one day we will run cashew, which is an allergen. On the second day we will run makhana, which is not an allergen. So can we come up with any new methods or new cleaning, chemicals, right, which are not very harmful, maybe biochemicals, which can be used to clean food grade machinery where there is no traces of allergens left, and it does a good job of cleaning. Because bio cleaning chemicals, which are not heavy on chemicals as well, are also something very useful in the market. Why will we use chemicals which are harmful when we can find bio replacements which are faster and quicker and more efficient and getting the job done? This is just one suggestion I have in mind. Maybe it could be again compressed air, but with another technology which can really remove this thick masala pepper coating on the side of the machine, but with heavy force of air, or whether water gun or fire gun is able to remove that out. That really depends on all the technology out there. There's fire guns, there's water, there's air, and then what. So I hope we can find a solution for that. That is the first problem statement. The second problem statement, which is very big, I think not only for us but for people in the snacking industry, especially in the FMCG industry, let me put it that way, in more broader spaces. Every product in the FMCG space has a very short shelf life, or has a shelf life, let's put it that way, ranging from 3 to 4 months to 12 to 16 months. Now, on average, our snacking products have 9 to 12 months of shelf life. Now, what the challenge here is, we will give it to the supermarkets, and not all supermarkets are able to successfully sell them within the time frame. When the 9 months or 12 months is passed, when it passes, they send back the expiry products to us, and they don't pay for that. So this is a case that had happened literally just yesterday, where we got 1.5 lakhs worth of material back from supermarkets. They're not going to pay us for it, and these are not even staples where you can even go take them back to fumigation. So when many staples go through this process of fumigation, where you put them in chambers and then you put them in a vacuum environment where the pests die, essentially, living creatures which are pests die, and then you can do a re-cleaning again. It works for some products, but now in snacking you cannot do that. It's because it's already value added. You can't do validation on validation again, especially for human consumption. And so these expiry products basically have to be just disposed of. It's a complete loss. So can we do something with these items, because many of them are still food grade, but it's just that they cross that shelf life. If not for humans, can we use them, let's say, for animal feed? Animal feed is also valuable. There is a value in the market for it. So the producer or manufacturer also is not getting a total loss, and also at the same time a new industry is also getting another avenue of getting another source of feed for whatever it can be, cattle, seafood, or in any other kind of feed in another industry. There is right now, for example, I think a few months ago, ethanol is now being used to produce hydrogen, right? Because the Prime Minister came up with the hydrogen policy for India for the next few decades, and he wants India to be the major hydrogen source. Because I was talking to someone who's in this space where they said ethanol to produce ethanol, one part of it is going to come from maize and some other food products. They're going to put that and blend it with ethanol. So the cost is going to get cheaper, and so maize now has another application. Can we find an application for these snacks, for these FMCG products, in even non-consumption based applications like ethanol or whatnot, right? Where it becomes a raw material in another product. This will become a really big opportunity for the whole industry, where the whole wastage of food is going to reduce overall. So yeah, expired products or expired FMCG products is the second problem statement. The third problem statement is related to packaging. We are not a packaging company, but we use packaging to package our products. As I told you, we're a consumer brand, and so we need to have various types of packaging to sell our different products. We have a different packaging for tamarind, for jaggery, for our snacks, for the rice and the pulses, and in different sizes. And to be frank, right, majority of these packaging are essentially at the core plastic based, or a blend of plastic and metal. So you need to have at least, it depends on, so to get a good shelf life for the product, you need to have more layers. So in simple language, we say 3 layer, 1 layer, 3 layer, 5 layer. And so each layer acts as a barrier to help increase the shelf life of the product, or to keep the product in good shape when it's shipped from India to the US and still in intact position. And so essentially we call it met-pet poly or aluminum and pet poly, but pet and poly is still plastic in simple words, right? So plastic is still a major component of these packaging materials. So can we come up with a solution where we can come up with good packaging material which is not too expensive, but it is also strong enough to give us good shelf life for food grade products? So these are the different categories. Actually, there is sustainable material out there, but it's maybe it's not food grade, or if it's food grade, it's too expensive. Because you need to understand we're in the snacking industry where Lay's is being sold for 10 and 20 rupees. If that same pack itself is costing me 10 rupees and my product is 15 rupees, how will I compete in the market? Yes, I am fulfilling the tick mark where my packaging is sustainable, but who is going to buy my product in India, which is a cost sensitive market? 99.9% of the people are going to say, wow, this is double the price of Lay's. And similar to Lay's, why am I going to buy that? I'm going to buy Lay's. So the costing also has to come down to a similar price point, which is possible whenever in history there have been technological evolutions, the price also has come down. So we need to come up with something like that for packaging, which is also, which is which has less or no plastic, which is less in price, and also able to give that good shelf life. Because again, we can't use it if the shelf life is 3 months. By the time my product reaches South Africa or America, 3 months have passed. There's no point. It's pointless. Like when we ship products to the West, or especially to America, the minimum shelf life they ask is 15 to 18 months. Because even they want 12 months to redistribute it from their port to their distribution points and their supermarkets, and the supermarkets want 6 to 9 months to sell. So for the whole value chain to work, we need the good shelf life. So sustainable packing material is the third point. And the fourth problem statement I wanted to share with you all was a very big time-consuming challenge in the industry, which I believe is being addressed by certain startups, but nobody's been able to crack it yet, is whenever we receive raw material, right, as a food brand, it doesn't happen in the wholesale markets, but it happens at the next stage of the value chain, where there are food brands who are packing for themselves or for other brands. We have to check the quality of the raw material that comes in, the quality of the rice, the tur dal, the jaggery powder. And so every brand, let's take our brand's example. For every raw material in our portfolio of 100 plus products, we have 150 plus products, we have this sheet called the raw material specification sheet. For every product, for pista, almond, cashew, for the red chili, biargi chili, for black pepper, for brown rice, for tur dal, whatnot, right? And so they have certain parameters, about 8 to 10 and 12 parameters, depends, plus minus. And whenever we get a big lot, we buy in bulk because we're a brand packing for ourselves and others. We buy 100 kg minimum, 500 kg, 1000 kg, 5000 kgs, 5 tons, 10 tons, 20 tons of rice. So what we do is, when the lot comes to us from wherever it's coming from, the mill or from the seaport where it's exported or imported from, wherever, we do the first stage that we do and other brands do is they do this thing called a quality check. So we randomly remove X number of boxes or X number of sacks, and then we check the physical parameters first, and we check some chemical parameters. Now we are not a lab, so we have basic quality equipment in our facility. For example, the most common parameter we check in the lab is the moisture content. In its basic chemistry, where the higher the moisture content in any product, the more quickly it can spoil or it can get rancid. So for every product, in every product specification sheet, we have a ideal moisture content range as well. If it is above that, then we cannot approve it, because I'm going to get it now, but within 2-3 weeks or 4 weeks, it's going to spoil. My shelf life itself is not going to be there, right? No matter what I do, whether I do fumigation or put it in the best packaging material. So this physical checking of parameters, like the size of, tur dal comes in various sizes. Then there is infested tur dal with holes, because it's an agricultural product at the end of the day, right? All of these products are food grade products, agricultural products. And in agricultural products, it's normal to find infestation inside if it has not been maintained very well from the source where it came, or if it has not been transported in a good clean place, good clean vehicle. So sometimes from inside the almond you'll find a worm or something like that. And so our job as a team is, as best as possible, to find out if the lot we have got is infested or not, and does it have broken pieces, because that also comes. Cashew is sensitive, right? If it shakes a lot, then we've ordered whole cashew, but we'll get broken cashew, or we will get 70% whole cashew and 30% broken. That is a loss for us, because I cannot sell that in my packet selling whole cashew, right? So 30% becomes broken, and so we have specifications for all of those as well. How much is the allowance that I will accept? Okay, maybe 5% are broken. I will not accept more than that. I will accept 0% infestation. I will accept it only if the moisture is within this range. Then I will accept if almond gets chipped. I will accept only if the 1% is chipped. So all of these parameters are there, and now the challenge is all of these parameters are checked physically by actual physical quality executives who are trained. But you should need to imagine where we are still a small company, we're an MSME. We are just, revenue-wise, we're just 140 crore last year, 160 crore. But there are companies who have thousands of crores, which are way bigger than us. They're probably not even in the top 50. We might be, but we're not there online because we're not a VC company. We might be in the top 50, but we're clearly in the top 20, 30 food brands of India. So there are companies which have massive volumes, more products than us. And so everybody right now is using physical people to do those quality checks, to cross-check with those parameters and to say yes or no. If those parameters are not met, rejected. If they are met, then it is approved. But this process is very time-consuming. So we have to hire 4-5 people just to do quality work. But it takes up to 2-3 people. You need to think from a business particular manpower, man hours as well, right? Like 3 of my skilled labor who I'm paying a very good salary are just doing raw material checking every day, because I'm getting 4-5 different raw materials. And they have to check so many parameters and then eventually give a yes or a no. Today we're in the age of AI and ML, where we can feed them historical data, and some of these decisions can be automated. If you feed them 1,000 images, then they'll be able to, when they look at the 1,001st image, they'll know whether, okay, that in that image of this tur dal lot, what is the size, whether it is meeting, we can feed in the raw material specifications or parameters into this app or this software or system, and then they'll be able to know whether it's falling within this range or not, right? Wherever it is binary, yes, no, the app can run it. And I've met a few startups trying to work on that, but nobody's been able to crack it yet. So 2 of them are one of them is already in the Bangalore wholesale market. They wanted us to onboard as well, but we've not yet gone there because it's not efficient, it's not perfect. So in the beginning, solutions are not perfect as well. So that is another fear. If we say, okay, now we fully rely on the app says it's approved, but actually it is not right. It is infested or it is broken 50%, and my team then packs it in our bag, then the brand gets affected, right? Because we'll get customer complaints and people put all over social media that I paid such 1,000 rupees for whole cashew, but I got broken cashew, and then your brand goes downhill. We're living in an age of day and age of social media where one tweet can bring down your brand value, right? So you have to be careful. So there is hesitancy from smaller brands as well to accept these solutions which are incomplete. So we being a young company and we understand that solutions like these need support, and I think I'm ready for that. I'm a partner anyways in the company, so I didn't give you my designation, but I'm a partner with my two other cousin brothers. So I look after R&D in the company, which is new product development, and then I look after the whole quality team and division. So all the audits that we need to go through, the international audits and the FSSC, ISO, and the food grade audits, and I'm also working with some of our international export clients, import and export is what I look after as well. And so since this is within my domain, quality is within my domain, I don't mind being a part of or supporting them and testing out their product if that is the case, right? If they need data, no, I don't mind giving them that. And then see if the solution works. But if a good solution comes out, it will not only benefit us, it will benefit the whole industry. And we'll become more efficient, we'll become better, we'll become faster. We need technology to make us faster and better. So these are the 4 major problem statements I want to share with you.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. That was pretty intense on whole of sustainability. I think most of the goals were covered because of from water to energy to getting the quality check to wastage. So many aspects that you have taken into consideration, and these are some real problems which can have a very big time impact, as you said, for the whole of the industry. So this will be very, very crucial as well as interesting for the students to work on in the innovation aspect. So we are gonna we have noted down all the statements. So with that, we come to the last part of the session where we want to. You have already covered all aspects of sustainability that you have thought of for the company, but what is the step or steps that you are looking to take forward as far as the company is concerned in terms of sustainability, or any other initiatives that you have already taken or implemented? If you can share with us, that would be great.
So we've been conscious of this, right? Because the new generation, half of India's population is below 35. It's the new generation, and they're more conscious of this. So our whole company went through a rebrand 1.5 years back, and in the rebranding phase, we launched one brand, one sub-brand of products called Gourmet, Popular Gourmet, where we sell premium nuts, imported nuts, like macadamia nuts from Australia and pecan nuts from America. So the packaging for all these premium nuts is actually sustainable material, and it's really beautiful. It's like a jar which you can gift. You'll feel like gifting it to your loved ones and friends and family. But the challenge is, it's all amazing, everybody loves it, but it is very expensive. That one jar is costing us 5 to 10 times more. We are still doing it because there's still a small market. People are still buying it on Swiggy, but it's not the mass market, right? Even we as a brand, our vision is to be able to bring good quality food products and healthy snacks at an affordable price to India, because India is still a price conscious market. And so we've started the journey already, and we do want to bring in sustainable packaging a bit more, but I think slowly it's going to take some time. We do want to, so that is our goal, to increase the portfolio more. And I think again the other part is as much as possible, at least in this new snacking facility, we want to bring in as much useful, efficient automation as possible. So running manufacturing facilities as well. I think you guys might know, they use a lot of utilities, and a lot of it actually because of inefficient manufacturing planning. A lot of electricity, water is wasted. So since they're new in this and they're young, we want to be able to again make efficient use of the electricity that they're using every day, and the water and the chemicals and all of these, because everything at the end of the day comes at a cost. I mean, not only to us but also to the environment, because around us right now there's greenery, because we're in the outskirts of Bangalore. But we know if we keep pumping oil and utilizing excess electricity and water, it affects the environment also around us. And so we want to be able to plan our manufacturing as well in a better way, where in 8 hours we use 8 hours machinery to the fullest. And then if we're capable of manufacturing, let's say 5 tons in 4 hours, we will do 5 tons, not 1 ton in 4 hours. Because in 4 hours the same amount of water and electricity is being used. So if we're able to do 2 shifts and we're able to do 20 tons, we'll finish it in 1 day in 20 tons, instead of prolonging it across 5 days and all those 5 days utilizing those extra resources. So that is our goal. But the challenge is we need so much of sale as well. For us to make 20 tons, we need to be able to sell 20 tons. So in the first 1 year, it's a bit of a challenge, but we're trying our real best to be able to find that sweet spot where they're able to bring in operational efficiency, manufacturing efficiency, and also start going beyond break even so we can start earning and then start putting it back into the business and grow the business. But we understand the first 2 years will be challenging, and we hope to work towards that.
Thank you so much, Yusuf. That was such a great, impactful discussion that we had, and we see a lot of prospects where innovation is going to bring in a lot of revenue aspect as well as sustainability aspect, as far as we've heard from you on all of the very interesting problem statements. Thank you so much for actually taking the time to participate. We are very, very grateful that you're part of our first set of 100 MSMEs. We're very proud to have you on board, and we look forward to taking this further, this whole journey with you, traveling forward this year and bringing more solutions to you. So thank you so much for your time, and we'll stay connected with all the progress.
Thank you.